Hey gang, so it's time to address a very serious topic. What we're talking about today is technical erosion. Technical erosion is something that, if you know it, can manage it, and can use it well, can give you everything that you want. You want your gains, healthy joints, better weight loss, motivation to train. However, if you're not aware of it or how to manage it correctly, it could basically bring everything you don't want. Sore joints, lack of gains, plateaus that last forever, loss of motivation for train, basically hell on earth as far as your workout is concerned. So what is technical erosion? Technical erosion is the term that I use to describe when an excessive amount of resistance or fatigue causes your technique to basically fall apart. Now, the important thing to understand is there are two kinds of technical erosion. There's acute technical erosion, and then there's chronic technical erosion. The first one can pave the way for everything that you want. The second one can eat at your gains like a cancer. We'll be discussing that one in the second video. But let's first look at acute technical erosion and how you can use that to get the results that you want. Acute technical erosion is what happens when your form starts to break down under the fatigue that you experience during a given set or the duration of an exercise or during a workout. It's very obvious when your first repetition is solid, clean, and crisp, and by the end of the set, your range of motion is shorter, things start flailing everywhere, your elbows and knees start moving around a little bit. Sometimes it's noticeable in big ways. Oftentimes, it's very noticeable in very small ways. Now, for the most part, acute technical erosion isn't something you really need to worry about. It's pretty short term, it doesn't affect you all that much, but you do need to be aware that it can affect your health and performance under heavier loads. It's when you can just simply make a small change or adjustment in your technique, and suddenly you tweak a back or pull a muscle or something. So when you're under heavier loads of resistance, it is a little bit more risky, but for the most part, it's not really that much of a big deal. The good news is that what happens under this technical erosion can be the very thing that points you towards what you need personally in order to make more progress and build more muscle, improve performance and everything in your specific workout. If you notice that your technique is changing throughout the set, those changes are what you want to resist and try and fight against in order to improve your results. This is also the answer to the old question of how do I do more pull-ups? How do I do more push-ups? How do I get more reps? The answer isn't necessarily trying to force yourself to do more repetitions or some fancy workout scheme or anything. 9 times out of 10, it's just as simple as, well, how is your 10th rep or your last rep different from your first rep? Whatever that difference is, lack of range of motion, changes in body position, however you're moving and using your muscles a little differently, fight against that tendency to make that change. Usually what happens is we start to think of the ability to do an exercise kind of like we're going along just fine, we can do the repetitions, and suddenly we hit failure like it's a wall, and then we don't do it anymore. This is usually not how fatigue actually happens in the body. Instead, it's a slow decline, a gradual regression, as you were, throughout the set. So what ends up happening is we start to regress our technique, we start moving in very subtle ways, and then by the last one, when we can't move anywhere, that's the point where our technique has regressed to the point where we can no longer do the exercise. Your mission is to become hyper aware of how your body responds to this regression throughout the set and try to level it up so it doesn't regress as much from one rep to the next. Before too long, you'll find that the quality of your later reps improve on a technical level, and suddenly you'll be able to add on more repetitions quite easily towards the end of that set. So you don't need to add on extra stuff all the time to keep making progress. Instead, becoming more proficient at the reps and using the technique and or weight that you can use right now is going to be the key to making the progress that you want in the near future. So that is acute technical erosion. In the next video, I'm going to be talking about its big, bad, mean cousin, chronic technical erosion and how it can basically cause plateaus that last forever, ruin your joints, and kill off your motivation to keep training hard. If you want to learn more about this, check out my channel down here and leave comments and questions down below. Till then, be fit, live free.